It's Saturday, November 23rd, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. A lot to talk about. Before we do, please, if you would, like, share, and subscribe. Absolutely beautiful late afternoon here in Palm Desert, California. And I want to start the video out today. If you did not see yesterday's video, it was the longest food line I have ever personally seen in my life. I know that there's bigger ones, but for what I've witnessed with my own two eyes, this was the longest food line I have ever seen. We filmed it yesterday. I flew a drone over it, and it was really sad. And I just wanted to, and please make sure, check it out. It was yesterday's video. Go back to it, watch it. I thought it really pointed out where we're at as a nation. But I think some of the people that watched it were very, very confused because I saw a lot of comments about the cars that people were lined up with. And there were hundreds of cars at this food bank lined up waiting for hours. Some people were going to have to wait for 6 hours to get food. And look, if you have 6 hours to go get food, I would think that at that point, you probably really need it. Because if you have 6 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours to sit in your car to wait for a couple bags of food, you probably really, really need it. If you don't, you've definitely earned it. You should be able to get food if you can sit there and wait 3, 4, 5, 6 hours for food. But a lot of people talked about the nice cars that were at this food bank yesterday. And what people don't realize is this is the gutting of the middle class. Many of the people that were at this food bank yesterday used to not be poor. Now they're becoming poor. They were middle class at one point. And when we shot the video yesterday, it was in the afternoon, between 4 or 5 o'clock. People are getting off work and they're coming to this food bank. People that were working 2 and 3 jobs. Why are they driving nice cars? Well, probably because they bought a car 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, and a lot has happened. This is called the gutting, the decimation of the middle class, where one day you have a nice life. You're living in a nice house, you're driving a nice car, you have some money in the bank, and then all of a sudden there's this thing called inflation. And when you have to begin to pay, $500, $600, $700, $800 a month for an air conditioning bill out here in the desert, it starts cutting in into your savings account a little bit. When auto insurance goes up twice in a year, health insurance goes up, your rent goes up, again, your utilities go up, food prices at the store go up, childcare goes up, everything, your cell phone bill goes up, everything goes up, and people are concerned about the nice cars. Well, many of these people could afford a decent car 2 or 3 years ago. But now that the price of everything has gone up and the purchasing power of the US dollar has gone down, this is what happens. So I wish, to those people, don't judge people that were driving a nice car. More than likely, they probably could afford it 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. But a lot has happened in the last 2 to 3 years. So I just want to address that. And I think that instead of being worried or concerned about what kind of car somebody's driving, you should be more worried about where your tax dollars have gone. Billions of dollars to other countries, billions of dollars to finance these wars across the ocean in parts of the world that you could never even find on a map. But we're worried about how much somebody paid for their Toyota Camry, yet we're not worried about the flushing of our money, of our tax dollars down the toilet over these wars, the financing of these wars, the military bases, the relentless spending on so much garbage. Yet we're worried about someone's Toyota Camry. Please watch the video yesterday. This is what inflation does. This is what the gutting and decimation of the middle class looks like. And we're going to see more of this. And I'll tell you what, when you lose your car, then you're in big trouble because now you can't work those 2 to 3 jobs. You can't work those side hustles. You can't get your kids to school. You can't go and get food. I wish people would stop judging and start praying more for people. Check out the video yesterday. Please check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Now, switching gears, there's a article here that I was reading today on Fox Business. Small businesses are struggling. I have yet to bring home a single dollar. This is from a business owner that they were interviewing. Over 40% of small businesses in this country last month could not pay their rent. So I don't know what we're going to do about it. I see a lot of the hopium. I see a lot of the euphoria out there, yet none of the problems have been fixed yet. And I'm praying to God that this administration is going to get to work and do a lot in the next 12 to 24 months. But right now, nothing's been done, and we're seeing a lot of euphoria out there, and I hope that we're going to see some things get done, but right now nothing has been done. Small businesses are suffering, the middle class is suffering, many people watching this video are probably suffering. Let me know your thoughts on this, comment down below. Here's another one I was reading today coming from Redfin. More than 1 in 5 renters say their entire paycheck goes to rent. 22% of people according to this survey by Redfin, say that their entire paycheck goes to rent. 100% unsustainable, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why people have to work multiple jobs, multiple side hustles, just to avoid being homeless. Just driving around today out here in the desert, I cannot believe how many homeless people I saw today pushing their carts around on the street corners begging for food. 1 in 5, more than 1 in 5 say their entire paycheck goes to rent. This is not the America I grew up in. This is completely unsustainable. We're now, basically living in a country where, you're going to be lucky to be able to rent a home. And if you're not, you'll be homeless. It just seems like somebody just doesn't want you to be successful, that they don't want you to be a homeowner. They don't want you to own something. They want you dependent on the system, like all those people yesterday for hours and hours and hours. Probably well over 1,000 people hit that food bank yesterday. They want you dependent, because when you're dependent, they can control you. Do whatever you have to do to not rely or depend on the system, ladies and gentlemen. HousingWire.com, real estate investors purchased 16% of homes in the third quarter 2024 for $38.8 billion worth of properties. That is up 3 to 4% from last year. I think it should be completely illegal. I condemn it for institutional money to be coming in, competing against you and I to buy a home. And this is really jacked up home prices. It has caused a major bubble, allowing institutional money to come in and offer $50,000 or $100,000 above asking price, while the small, retail buyer cannot afford to buy a home, because you're going against the Vanguards, the Black Rocks, and all this institutional money. It should not be allowed. Let me know your thoughts on that. Here's one from The Hedge today. With or without tariffs, the US dollar is a Ponzi. What do you think about the US dollar? Is it a Ponzi? Is there anything behind it? Is it going to be here 10 years from now? It says here, with soaring deficits, soaring debt, and interest payments that can only be made by issuing a debt-based currency, which even more interest will be due. The US dollar can only possibly be described as an elaborate nation-state level bankster Ponzi scheme. Dollars are backed by debt, which requires infinite economic growth to survive, without constant inflation to erode the debt's value, transferring wealth from one savers to the government, or from savers to the government and bankers. It all falls apart. Without new borrowers to sustain current spending, it all falls apart. Without a petrodollar system, where the US dollar is no longer the world reserve currency and other countries no longer are forced at gunpoint to use dollars, it all falls apart. Until we revert back to dollars that are pegged to something of real value, like gold, the scam will continue, ladies and gentlemen. The unwinding of the petrodollar, the United States dollar Ponzi scheme, will hurt every American. It will hurt people all around the world as it reels under the chaos of the realization that the dollar was hollow all along. And the loss of new suckers to buy U.S. debt has officially dried up. So be cautious, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you really think that inflation is under control, if you think inflation is gone, if you think real inflation is going to 2%, you are drinking the Kool-Aid. Inflation is alive and well. You know they're lying about it. The data is completely a fraud at this point. You're all going to the grocery store. Many people already commented that they don't see any relief with their Thanksgiving shopping, that food is actually more than it was last year. Even though we're getting reports that it's 5% less last year for Thanksgiving shopping, it's actually 5%. Maybe 5% more, maybe even higher than that. But people are reporting to me that they're paying more now than they were last year, while the news is telling you and I that it's 5% less. Let me know your thoughts. Are you paying more than last year? Is it about the same? Are you paying less? Let me know your thoughts on that. But inflation is not going away, and I highly recommend, not financial advice, but make sure you have some gold and silver put away. You need physical assets, ladies and gentlemen, that will hold up against inflation. If you need any help with that, go to my link down below. SD Bullion, fantastic company. I've been dealing with them for over 7 years now. Look, I know a lot of people are falling over one another with the crypto phenomenon, the crypto euphoria that's taking place. But look, we got a long way to go here, ladies and gentlemen, a long way to go. And as things escalate in the Middle East, as they escalate in Eastern Europe, if we see cyber attacks, grids down, you better be holding real things. And remember, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Invest in what you want to invest in. I don't give financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing, what my circle of friends are doing. Holding real things, things that have a 5,000-year history like gold and silver. Put some cash away. Get out of the system the best that you can, the most that you can. Don't be holding all of your money, digits on a screen, on a computer. All your money should not be sitting in a bank. Here's another one today. Ukraine sending skilled professionals to front lines. I truly do believe at this point, I'm not taking any side here with this war. I despise this war. I despise most wars. I don't have a dog in this fight, but I truly do believe that Ukraine is being used as a pawn here. The situation in Ukraine right now is deteriorating rapidly. It's no longer a question, will it be defeated? It's just a question of when will it be defeated. But they're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. So they've had to resort to using elderly people. They're using women. They're using children. Now they're going to be using their professionals like engineers, defense company workers. They are running out of people. So many people have lost their lives on both sides of this war, ladies and gentlemen, while we continue to finance this. Just the other day, we just approved another $275 million in weapons. And you are paying for this. I am paying for this. And it is prolonging this war, which is continuing to take the lives of many, many people, soldiers, civilians. It is absolutely atrocious what is going on. Here's another one today. I was watching this video, reaction to the video of the hypersonic missile strike that happened, what was it, I think a day or two ago. The retaliation for Ukraine firing those U.S. long-range missiles into Russia this week. Look, if this is what you want, this is what you're going to get, ladies and gentlemen. And Russia is not playing around. Again, this is not political. I have no dog in the fight, but people are getting hurt, and all for what? And people will write me and go, whoa, you're completely wrong. Well, guess what? You go over there, you fight, you send your kids over there, and you can write out as many checks as you want to support this, because I don't want to have one damn thing to do with it. You can send your whole family over there to fight for this. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I don't want to be paying for it, and I certainly don't want blood on my hands. I think it's absolutely disgusting. Terrifying infographic shows reach of Russia's new hypersonic missile can hit London in 20 minutes. They're called Orishnik missiles, if I'm pronouncing that right. Orishnik missiles. They do Mach 11. That is over 8,400 miles per hour. I don't think most people, as they're buying cryptos this weekend, as they're watching football games and basketball games, I don't think they have any idea the technology and nuclear superiority that Russia has at this point. Mach 11. And we're going to keep pushing things, ladies and gentlemen, and you're going to get what you want if that's what you want. If you want a war, you're going to get one. And this is not Libya. This is not Iraq. This is not Afghanistan. This is Russia. This is China. This is Iran. This is many other countries. They're very advanced, very sophisticated, and it's going to get very, very ugly if this persists. ABC News. Terrorists may be eyeing Macy's Thanksgiving parade as target, officials warn. This according to a joint threat assessment put out by multiple law enforcement agencies and the FBI. There will be 2 million spectators, 10,000 participants at the parade. It is only a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen, before something happens here on U.S. soil. Be very cautious if you're hanging out in big crowds, going to sporting events, going to parades, all of that. Be very, very cautious. But so much happening around the world. Look who just popped in here. Look who popped in here. I just really, really pray to God that we can avoid all this conflict, all this violence, and I hope that we can just get things to de-escalate, get people to talk. I mean, one of the best things that could happen is we get people sitting down at a table and talking. It's so important. But for some reason, I know there's a lot of people in this country that just want to fight. They want war, more war, more war. They make a lot of money from war, and they don't care how many people lose their lives. But I truly believe that the only way that this settles down, de-escalates, is if people sit down and begin to talk. Because if it continues to get out of control, if it continues to escalate, we're going to see historic amounts of people lose their lives, and we're going to see the world in chaos. We're going to see production shortages, food shortages. We're going to see problems right here on U.S. soil. And as we get close to Thanksgiving, and I give all praise to God for my health, for my family, for friends, for everything around me, for my pets, for another day of life, being able to do this and sit here and talk with you daily. There are people all around the world that, I mean, they just don't have the luxury of what we have. Look, things aren't perfect here, and they've certainly been heading in the wrong direction for a long time. But things could be changing here in 2025. But I just hope that everybody understands this is not going to be an easy journey in 2025. There are entities, there are nefarious players that don't want you to be wealthy, that don't want you to buy a house, that don't want you to have success. They want you to be a slave. They want us in wars. They want us bankrupt. They want you dependent on the system. And if you think that they're going to hit a switch and everything's going to be resolved in 2025, you are sadly mistaken. I pray for a miracle. I pray that happens. I pray that happens. I have faith that, there's going to be some good positive changes in 2025, but there is going to be major blowback. There is going to be a major pushback with all this. So be aware of that. Be prepared. Don't get complacent. Keep making sure, stocking up on the food, the water, the training, the skill sets. We are not out of the woods, ladies and gentlemen. We are not out of the woods. Don't get complacent. I'm going to leave it there today. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. And as always, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. Take care. Be safe.